Hi, my name is Philemon Mensa, and I'm glad to give you my findings on or present to you my findings on my research on factors affecting students' use of artificial intelligence, that's AI, specifically ChatGPT for this research to support their learning. Um, so the objective of the study is to examine how perceived ease of use, that is PEOU, and perceived usefulness, that's PU, influence students' behavioral intention, BI, to use AI, specifically ChatGPT for this research for their learning. The rationale for this research is understanding student adoption of ChatGPT helps improve educational outcomes and integration of technology. For literature summary, these were the key insights from literature. So from literature, PEOU, or perceived ease of use, is a strong predictor of technology adoption. And then perceived usefulness, or PU, significantly influences continued use of technology. TAM, that is Technology Acceptance Model, is a common model for studying educational adoption. And for the purpose of this research too, literature made us aware of this. Then again, there were some emerging trends. Literature has confirmed that students value tools that are easy to use and save time. And speaking of tools that are easy to use and save time, ChatGPT happens to be one of them. Literature has also confirmed that ChatGPT is used for summarizing content, explaining concepts, and also generating study materials. So behavioral intention increases with trust and familiarity. Now, for methodology, methods that were used as far as this research is concerned, for data collection, the tool that was used is Google Forms. Google Form is used or was used sent to various respondents. The participants were mainly university students. That was the target group or the target audience. And the data collected from these people were demographics, then 5 items on PEOU, 5 items on PU, then 5 items on BI. And the scale for these data collected, it was 5 points Likert scale. That's the scale that was used to. Besides that, the data collected was analyzed. And these are the tools that were used for analysis of the collected data: Excel and SPSS. The analysis techniques used correlation, simple linear regression, and then multiple regression. Now let's look at uh, the demographics. So there were 33 respondents. Actually, I was targeting 50, but I had 33 and I had to do with it. So for the 33 responses received from my 33 respondents, these were the age range. 15% were within the age range of 21 to 30. Now the color code has been explained, where blue indicates those from 15 to 20 years, red is 21 to 30 years, yellow is 30 to 40 years, and then green is 40 to 50 years. So out of the 33 responses that I had, 15.2%, that was the smallest people, were within the range of 21 to 30 years. And then 24.2% were within the range of 40 to 50 years. And then the majority of my respondents were within the age range of 30 to 40 years. And then again, the research was not gender sensitive in the sense that it didn't focus on one gender neglecting the other gender. It was open to everybody who would respond, being it male or female. And so out of the 33 respondents, 42.4% were male. And interestingly, 57.6% were females. That tells us how females are actually climbing the educational ladder. Of course, like I said, all my respondents were university students. So if 57.6% were females, it tells us that a lot of our female counterparts are doing well as long as university education is concerned. And then the academic level, um, students were asked to, show us the academic level. Of course, you know that in Ghana here at the SHA, students are not allowed to use phone for their studies unless they are home and making their personal researches. But for the purpose of these studies, that's why the focus was on the university students because they can use phone with the exception of using it during exam. And so the table here shows the academic level of all 33 students and the percentage. 300 are having their bachelor and they are in the level 300. Sorry, they're in the level 300. That's a 3% of them. 18.2%. We have those doing their BEd, those having their first degree, some having their masters, some their postgraduates, level 800. So the table shows us all these things here. That is the academic level of my respondents. Interestingly, 18.2% are having their postgraduates, which is very good. It means that even those having their master's degree do also use ChatGPT. And I actually love seeing that. And then their respective field of studies. Yeah, so this table shows that it's not just one field of study making use of artificial intelligence. No. So as we can see here, some are having their basic education, others educational psychology, guidance and counseling. Some are having their masters in guidance and counseling. Some are doing special education. Some are doing psychology solely. So all these school of thoughts or all these people from these different field of studies have seen the need to make use of ChatGPT. All right, now with regards to their AI use experience, they were asked if they have used AI tool before, of which 97% of my respondents showed they've had prior experience with AI tools. Commonly, they use these AI tools for research purpose, research assistance, to help in generating ideas, and then to help them with their assignments. Now, the perceived ease of use. 5 items were generated under this component alone. So students were asked to indicate how easy using ChatGPT is for them. And out of the 33 respondents, 18.2% said that they strongly agree, and 18.2% they were neutral, but 63.6% agreed. So nobody disagreed here. Then again, using ChatGPT to get information is straightforward. 18.2% were still neutral. 18.2% were also they strongly agreed, and then 57.6% agreed, and then the rest disagreed. With regards to readily understanding the feedback provided by ChatGPT, 54.5% agreed, 27.3% were neutral, 15.2% strongly agreed, and then the rest disagreed. The process of asking questions to ChatGPT is effortless. 9.1% strongly agreed, 24.2% were neutral, 60.6% agreed, and then the rest were in disagreement. Then, whether it was simple to use ChatGPT for tasks, 15.2% strongly agreed, 18.2% were neutral, and then 66.7% agreed. Yeah. And then with regards to, so that is done for the perceived ease of use. Now we moved on to the perceived usefulness. There were 5 items under this component, and this is the data. Yes, the data, graphical data of the responses. Out of the 33 respondents, 21.2% strongly agreed, 66.7% agreed, and then 12.1% stayed neutral. And whether they find ChatGPT helpful for solving problems or answering questions, 15.2% strongly agreed, 72.7% agreed, and then 9.1% were neutral. The rest, they said they strongly disagreed. Then whether ChatGPT provide valuable assistance in completing tasks, 9.1% strongly agreed, 72.7% were in agreement, 15.2% said neutral, and the rest disagreed. And whether they believed if ChatGPT improves their productivity in learning, 15.2% said they strongly agree, 57.6% said they agree, 24.2% claims they're neutral, and then the rest said they disagree. Whether ChatGPT help them find solutions that they may not even have, given it a thought on their own, 12.1% said they agree, and 72.7% said they agree. 12.1% said they strongly agree, and 72.7% agreed. 12.1% were neutral, they didn't have anything to say, and the rest disagreed. And that led us to the behavioral intention to use, that is the BITU. So we wanted to know whether from these experiences, is there the tendency for these respondents to continue the use of AI in their studies? And the questionnaires were 5 under this component, and the first one is, I intend to use ChatGPT frequently in the future. 24.2% said they strongly agree. 48.5% said they agree. 24.2% say they're neutral, so they may or may not, and the rest disagree. Whether they are very inclined to recommend ChatGPT or any other AI tool to others, 21.2% say yes, they strongly agree, and 54.5% agree. 18.2% were neutral. The rest said they disagree. Whether they will intend to continue the use of ChatGPT or any other AI tool for their tasks on regular basis, 18.2% said they strongly agree. 48.5% said they agree. 30.3% out of the 33 responses, 30.3% said they're neutral, and then the rest disagree. And whether they will consider the use of ChatGPT for solving work-related problems in the future, 18.2% said they strongly agree. 24.2% say they're neutral, and 57.6% agree. Whether they will rely on ChatGPT for their personal and or educational purposes now and in the future, 12.1% say they strongly agree, 54.5% say they agree, and then 33.3% say they're neutral. So these were the findings from there. Now we move on to analysis of the findings. So the findings. First, correlation analysis. Remember, we spoke of 3 ways used to analyze data. So at the end of everything, using SPSS and the rest, these are the results shown. For perceived ease of use with regard to behavioral intention, there was a positive correlation between the perceived ease of use and the behavioral intention to use. And as we see, our R value is 0.65, which is greater than 0.01, and that shows that there is, yes, a positive correlation. And then again, the perceived usefulness of AI or ChatGPT specifically with regard to the behavioral intention to use ChatGPT, we also saw a strong correlation. And here, yes, R value, that's a significant value. R value is 0.78, and then the P is still greater than 0.01, and that shows a very strong correlation. In other words, what that means is that the ease, that's the perceived ease of use of AI, specifically for this research, ChatGPT, and then the perceived usefulness of ChatGPT positively influence behavioral intention of people to keep using ChatGPT. What that means is ChatGPT, people see it to be very easy to use. And people also see ChatGPT to have a lot of usefulness for them. And this means now and onto the future, more people will continue the use of ChatGPT. Now, the second model used for the analysis was the linear regression. And the model one, we find that our R-squared value is equal to 0.42. For the model two, that's the model one is the perceived ease of use relative to behavioral intention. And the model two is the perceived usefulness relative to the behavioral intention. And for the model one, our R squared is 0.42. Model two, our R squared is 0.61. Now, this means the R squared is our variance. Don't forget that. Now, this means that the perceived usefulness explains more variance. The perceived usefulness, that is the 0.61. It explains more variance in behavioral intentions to use than the perceived ease of use. The perceived ease of use. What that means is, in helping us to determine which one showed that yes, there is more behavioral intention of people to continue the use of ChatGPT, we can fall more on the perceived usefulness. Then the last one was the multiple regression, and it was a combined model. So it was the perceived ease of use plus the perceived usefulness relative to the behavioral intention. And here we find out that our variance, R squared, is equal to 0.70. And both predictors significance are both predictors. They are significant. They have their sig value, that is P, to be greater than 0.1. So the key insight is that the perceived use is the stronger predictor, but both are significant. Let's understand that. Perceived ease of use is significant. Perceived usefulness is significant. But between the two, the perceived use is the stronger predictor. That is between the perceived ease of use and then the perceived usefulness. The perceived usefulness is the strongest predictor that the behavioral intention of people using AI tools to continue is likely to take place. It's more. It will take place. So if we are to use the two PEOU and then PU, we can focus more on the PU since it's the stronger predictor here. Now this is the regression model for the R2 values, as you can see here. So the PEOU relative to BI, that's what you see. That's the first one in orange bar. And then the PU, that is the perceived usefulness to behavioral intention. That's what you see. Forgive me, I don't know what I call it, but it's slightly green. I think, yeah, it's guava green. Then the when we combine both models, we saw the PEOU plus the PU relative to BI, and that's what you see here. So even from this model, you can see that indeed the perceived usefulness is a stronger predictor than the perceived ease of use. So in conclusion, perceived ease of use and perceived usefulness significantly affect students' intention to use ChatGPT and any other AI tool for that matter. And also, in conclusion, focus on training and awareness to enhance perceived usefulness is needed. So there should be that focus on training and awareness. And then also ChatGPT can be a valuable academic tool when implemented thoughtfully. From this research, that's a conclusion that we can draw, that ChatGPT can be a valuable academic tool when implemented thoughtfully. And this is the end. I thank you very much for staying with me. My name is Philemon J. Mensah, and it has been an honor presenting the findings of my research to you. Thank you.